Oh, it's Friyay, and today have we got something special for you. I tell you what, you don't want to miss this. It's all about the menu. Welcome to our restaurant. Don't go anywhere.
Previously on the Nerdy Ronin Network.
Hey, Squeaky, the weather's been changing a lot here lately, and I think we need to check in with our local weather expert and see what the weather's doing.
Don't know. Might snow. Back to you, nerd.
Happy Friday, everyone. We're so glad you're here today. The work week is on the way out. The weekend is upon us. The weather has turned icy cold. And we are so happy that you're here. That's right. Squeaky and I were just talking yesterday about how much we appreciate each and every one of you. That's right. We love you. So enjoy. We're glad you choose to hang out with us as we talk about the monumental failures and the wonderful highs of entertainment. In the description down below are some really cool things that we love, and we thought you might like them as well. Feel free to check them out. Nobody pays us. It's just great products and people. Like and subscribe. If I have already said that, my apologies. You get a twofer. So, here's the deal. So here's what had happened was, I don't like horror movies for the most part. And over the next few videos, we're going to discuss some movies that are advertised as horror, but aren't, per se. So, the first one I almost saw in the theaters, and I'm glad I didn't. Because the theater experience is expensive and should be reserved for extraordinary experiences, extraordinary films, space operas, lots of big commotion. I'm not going to the theater to see a drama or a comedy or something like that. Like, I want action or adventure, wide spectacles of things, right? So I almost went to see this at the theater, and then I didn't, because I just wasn't sure by watching the trailer exactly what it was. Let's look at it. The Menu from 2022, rated R, for a very good reason. An hour and 47 minutes. Alright, now as you see, it says comedy, horror, thriller. This is being promoted as a horror movie. If you look at HBO Max, it says it's a horror movie. The trailer has spooky music, and, just the way it's edited together makes it look like, you really don't have any idea what's happening. But it definitely has a scary vibe to it. I'm going to tell you now, and there's nothing scary about this movie. It's ridiculous. A young couple travels to a remote island to eat at an exclusive restaurant where the chef has prepared a lavish menu with some shocking surprises. Number 1, that's a stupid synopsis. As usual, Internet Movie Database is ridiculous. I like that word, ridiculous. It's directed by Mark Mylod. Seth Reese and Will Tracy wrote it. Don't know who they are. Ralph Fiennes, or as they say in the special features, Raph or Rafe. It depends on who's talking, depends on how his name is said. I don't know, but he's a fantastic actor. Nicholas Hoult is in, and I love Nicholas Hoult. He's a good actor. Not in this. Anya Taylor-Joy? How silly. Okay. It's got a pretty decent rating on here, which is unsurprising. Anyhow, Who? Let's get into it. Now you may be thinking, why would I want to watch a movie about food? This is correct. It's not necessarily about food. This is a satire. It's a straight up, hard-edged satire. You ever watch one of those movies where it's obvious that the writers thought they were the smartest person in the room and they're so proud of themselves, but the experience that you have watching the movie, you're like, man, this is dumb as crap. Alright? That's kind of how this movie went. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't mind the movie. It was an enjoyable watch. I'll never watch it again. If you watch this movie, you'll never watch it again. And if you watch it, you'll understand what I mean. Once you've seen it once, there's absolutely no reason to watch it again. I'm going to tell you several things here. I don't consider these spoilers. You might. But it's not going to ruin your experience. I promise. Promise. First things first, John Leguizamo in this movie is an idiot. He's horrible. And once again, he's just collecting a paycheck. For someone who used to be such a good actor, and depending on the roles, he's really fallen far. All right, it's probably his most honest role, however, that I've ever seen him in. So this movie is about a restaurant that charges $1,250 a plate. It seats 12. Okay, it's on an island. You go by boat. You eat. It takes 4.5 hours. Everything is grown or created right there on the island. It's a hoity-toity place, somewhere that none of us would ever get to eat. At least I'm speaking for myself. Nerdy Wife and I watched this, and we would never be able to afford to eat in a fancy place like that, which is kind of the point. It's a fancy place that you don't really have an appreciation or understanding as a normal person these types of people and these types of places. Now, I could be wrong. It's possible my friend Bushido Blues eats in $1,250 a plate places. I don't know. But for the most part, I'm going to say my audience doesn't eat in these type of places. But you have the different guests. You've got a foodie and his girlfriend is the assumption that is made at the very beginning, but they're weird. All right. You've got the hoity-toity couple, older couple, who just have too much money and have gone to this restaurant like 11 times since it opened. You have an actor, a has-been actor and his assistant. You've got the film critic and a food journalist. And then you've got 3 tech bros who are just horrid. So, and then you have the chef, all the sous chefs, all the staff, and the entire movie takes place on this island at this restaurant. And it's based on a menu. And the movie plays it completely as a restaurant. Like at the beginning of the movie, it says Searchlight Pictures presents. Welcome to Searchlight Pictures presents the menu. And every course is written on the screen, which becomes quite funny closer to the end. If I'm going, as I said, it's a satire. But if you watch the special features, they talk about how there's a bunch of Easter eggs involving the food that only people that eat at places like this would recognize, because some of the food is from actual hoity-toity restaurants across the world. So it's a satire made for normal people to watch about hoity-toity people with Easter eggs that only hoity-toity people will get. Aren't they smart? You see what I'm saying? Hollywood is so awful. Now, my biggest complaint is from the first moment you're introduced to the couple, which the guy seems to be the main character you're following in this story, the girl with him. It was obvious from the first time you see them at the opening of the movie that she was going to be the main character, or the winner, or the hero, or just, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, okay? But that's a failing of this movie. I knew from the moment the movie started who was going to win. I'll just put it like that. But all the characters are awful. Intentionally, so I'm not saying they're awful. I'm saying intentionally, these people are not nice people. They're the holier than holy. You know, this whole restaurant, cults would be proud of them. I'll put it that way. This is well worth a watch. Don't get me wrong. You should watch it. If this is but I'm going to warn you, the language is absurd. It frustrated me to no end that just introducing the couple at the pier as they're waiting on the boat to take them to the restaurant, there was like 19 F-bombs. And throughout the entire movie, these horrible people, it's just F-bomb, 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 F-bomb. It's unnecessary, Hollyweird. It doesn't make you edgy to use the F word every other sentence in normal conversation. And I have the ability to curse like a sailor because the military taught me to do that well. Not that I was a sailor, but you know what I'm saying. And even I don't curse like that. Like, it was just there to be quote unquote edgy. And instead it was a huge turnoff where, like, that's all you notice. You don't notice the dialogue. You just notice the F-bombs every other word for absolutely no reason. So that was a little frustrating. It's an intriguing story. It's extremely a unique story that had a great premise. But 2/3 of the way through, you realize they didn't have the talent. The writers didn't have the talent to pull this off in a way that was as enjoyable as it could be. That's what I'm going to say about it. It could have been better. You could have, and by the end, it's completely goofy. There's some things that are only in it just to move the story, like to lead you in the right direction, and they don't fit. But that's not to say the movie is not watchable. It's a one viewing movie. I would never buy this on Blu-ray, DVD. I wouldn't buy this on DVD. I'd definitely not buy it on 4K. I would never purchase this movie. And if I'd gone to the theater to see it, I'd have been angry. Because it's not a theater movie. It's downright ridiculous. But it is a solid one-watch movie if you've got an hour and 47 minutes where you don't have anything else to do. It's on HBO Max, and there you go. I know this was kind of a long Friyay review, but I had a lot to say about this movie. I have more to say about this movie, but it would just sound like I'm talking in circles. It's a satire of hoity-toity people and the restaurant culture that completely was made for hoity-toity people. There you go. So I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. And we look forward to seeing you again on Monday, where we have another intriguing movie to talk about along the quote-unquote horror genre, but maybe it's not actually a horror. We'll look at it. Have a great weekend, y'all. From Michael the Microphone, Bob, squeaky chair way back in the back, and this silly, non-hoity-toity nerd. We'll see you Monday.